Welcome to my channel, The World of Science Fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. The smell of burning ozone still lingered in the air. Jason stood atop the ruined fortress wall, staring out over the battlefield. The scattered remains of the Voidborn army flickered in the dying storm, their golden embers fading into the cold wind. They had won, but Jason couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Alex walked up beside him, arms crossed.
That was a test. They were feeling us out. The real fight hasn't started yet.
Do you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, and they're gonna come back pissed.
Jason didn't doubt that. Behind them, Vael'Zorith's warriors were already tending to the wounded. Despite the damage to the fortress, the Orcks moved with practiced efficiency, securing defenses, reinforcing their weapons, and preparing for whatever came next. Seyna stood a few meters away, her back to them, speaking in low tones with her father. Jason watched her, noting the way her shoulders remained tense even now, as if waiting for something else to go wrong. He couldn't blame her. Mark strolled up, wiping sweat from his brow.
So, are we gonna talk about how we just fired the biggest space cannon I've ever seen and survived?
You're welcome.
Naomi's voice crackled over the comms.
Jason, I've got the ship stable for now. But whatever the Voidborn did to it, it's still wrong.
Define wrong.
I think they tried to merge it with something. It's like part of the omen exists in two places at once. I don't know how else to describe it.
Can we still fly?
For now,
That wasn't exactly comforting. The Vael'Zorith finally turned away from Seyna and walked toward Jason.
You fought well, human.
We survived. That's not the same thing.
Voidborn will not simply retreat. They will strike again. We must know where they are coming from and why they are drawn here now after so many centuries.
Jason agreed, and he had a terrible suspicion that he was part of that answer. Seyna finally approached, her gaze flicking between them.
there is one place that may hold the truth. The ruins of Kairos, an ancient battlefield from the last war. There are records there that have never been touched. If we are to understand our enemy, we must go there.
A lost ruin filled with secrets about the last war, that sounded like the worst possible idea. And yet, it was exactly what they needed to do. Jason turned to his crew.
All right, we find this place, and we get our answers.
Then we leave at first light.
Jason watched as she turned away, already preparing for the next mission. He wasn't sure what they would find in the ruins of Kairos, but something told him it would change everything. Dawn, if you could call it that, broke over the Orc homeworld, casting an eerie, blue-tinged glow across the landscape. The three moons hung low in the sky, their pale light reflecting off the fortress walls as Jason and his crew prepared for departure. The ruins of Kairos. Jason didn't like it. He'd been on too many ancient mystery missions before, and they never ended well. There was a reason things were left buried, and yet here they were. Mark adjusted the strap of his gear pack, squinting at Seyna as she loaded weapons onto a skiff-like transport.
So, real question, why has no one ever checked this ruin before? Seems like it would have been useful centuries ago.
Seyna didn't look up as she secured the last crate.
Because the last warriors who entered never returned.
Cool, love that for us.
Alex rolled her eyes and double-checked her ammo.
We don't have time for ghost stories. If there's intel there, we need it.
Jason stood near the starship Omen, which still looked wrong. Naomi had done her best to stabilize it, but the golden veins of Voidborn energy still flickered along the hull, like the ship was halfway between two realities. Naomi approached, wiping grease from her hands.
Engines are stable. Kind of. But I wouldn't recommend pushing the warp drive too hard.
What happens if we do?
We might phase out of existence.
Great news.
Seyna approached, stepping lightly across the stone platform.
We leave now. The ruins of Kairos are buried deep in the red expanse, beyond the mountain range. The land there is cursed.
Did you say cursed? We all heard that right.
It is not a joke. The land was where our greatest warriors died. Their spirits are said to linger.
Well, let's hope they don't mind us dropping in.
Vael'Zorith stepped forward, towering over them.
You go with my daughter, but know this. If you awaken something that should remain buried, it is your burden to bear, human.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Vael'Zorith nodded slowly, his expression unreadable. Then he turned and walked away, leaving Seyna in charge. The skiff hummed to life, its anti-grav engines glowing softly. Jason climbed aboard, his crew following. Seyna took the controls, and with a sharp burst of acceleration, they sped off across the barren landscape, toward the ruins that had been sealed away for generations. Jason had a bad feeling about this, and judging by the look in Seyna's eyes, so did she. The red expanse stretched before them, a vast wasteland of crimson sand and jagged black rock, its barren landscape scarred by battles long forgotten. The skiff's anti-grav engines hummed as Seyna piloted them across the terrain. Dust and wind whipped against the hull, making visibility low. Jason stood near the open side panel, staring into the distance. Something about this place felt wrong, not just because of the ancient battle that took place here, something else. Something deeper. Alex adjusted the scope on her rifle.
So, remind me why we're heading straight into the most haunted part of the planet.
Seyna didn't take her eyes off the controls.
Because the truth is buried here. If you wish to understand your enemy, you must first know what they destroyed.
Let's just hope we don't end up on that list.
Mark leaned forward, squinting at the faint structures rising in the distance.
I think we're here.
Jason followed his gaze. The ruins of Kairos. Massive stone pillars jutted from the desert like the bones of a long-dead beast. Half-buried fortresses stretched into the horizon, their walls cracked and weathered by time. But it wasn't just ruins. As they got closer, Jason could see strange golden energy flickering in the air like echoes of something long past. Rorario spoke for the first time since they'd left the fortress.
The past lingers here.
Jason gave him a sharp look.
What do you mean?
Rorario's violet eyes didn't waver.
This place remembers.
That wasn't exactly comforting. Naomi spoke over the comms.
Jason, I'm getting weird readings. Massive energy spikes underground. It's ancient but still active.
Could it be Voidborn tech?
I don't think so. It's Orc in origin, but it's changed.
Seyna's grip tightened on the controls.
We are not alone.
Seyna pointed ahead toward the ruins themselves. Jason squinted through the dust. At first he thought it was just another broken pillar, just more wreckage of a lost civilization. But then, it moved. A massive figure stepped from the ruins, its blue skin scarred and weathered. It was an orc, but not like the ones Jason had met. Its armor was cracked, rusted with time, but its eyes glowed with golden energy, the same unnatural glow as the Voidborn. Jason's stomach dropped. Alex cursed under her breath.
Tell me that's not what I think it is.
Seyna's expression was unreadable, but when she spoke, her voice was cold.
It is exactly what you think.
Jason gripped his weapon.
What the hell are we looking at?
The Forgotten, Orcs who fell to the Voidborn's corruption.
Jason felt the air shift. The Forgotten warrior lifted its head, staring at them. Then, in a voice layered with echoes, it spoke.
You should not have come here.
The wind howled, the ruins began to tremble, and Jason knew they had just made a very big mistake. The ruins of Kairos trembled as the Forgotten Orc took a step forward, its massive frame unnaturally still despite the shifting energy crackling around it. Its golden Voidborn-infused eyes locked onto Jason as if it recognized him. Jason raised his weapon instinctively, but Seyna's voice was sharp.
Do not fire.
Are you serious?
Seyna didn't look at him. She kept her blade lowered but ready, her body tense.
If you fire first, you will not get a second chance.
The Forgotten warrior tilted its head slightly as if considering them. Then it spoke.
You walk in the shadow of the past, yet you do not know the path before you.
Its voice was wrong, deep, layered, like 1,000 echoes speaking as one. Jason forced himself to stay steady.
Who are you?
The Forgotten's golden eyes flickered.
I was once Orc, now I am the remnant of Kairos.
Seyna stepped forward.
You were one of the last warriors sent to defend Kairos, but none of you returned.
We did not die, we became something else.
A heavy silence fell over the ruins. Jason felt something cold crawl up his spine. This wasn't just a corrupted orc. This was a warning. Naomi's voice crackled over the comms.
Jason, I'm picking up more movement. There's not just one of them.
Jason turned slightly, his instincts screaming at him, and then he saw them. Figures were moving in the shadows of the ruins, their golden eyes blinking to life. Dozens of them.
We're surrounded.
Seyna's fingers tightened around her blade.
They do not attack unless provoked.
Mark let out a nervous chuckle.
Great, so we just stand here and hope they're friendly zombies.
The remnant of Kairos stepped closer, towering over them.
You do not belong here.
We came looking for answers.
Then you seek the tomb of the first champion.
Jason felt the world tilt beneath him. The first champion, the same warrior from the Orc holograms, the same one who fought the Voidborn leader and was never seen again. Seyna's lips parted slightly.
That tomb was never found.
Because it was never meant to be.
But you know where it is, don't you?
The other forgotten warriors shifted slightly, as if reacting to Jason's words. The remnant of Kairos tilted its head again.
You do not understand what you ask. The first champion fell, but he was not lost. His fate is entwined with the shadow that hunts you.
You mean the first of the Voidborn?
A long, heavy pause. Then, for the first time, the forgotten warrior smiled. It was a terrible, knowing smile.
No.
Jason's blood turned ice cold. Before he could ask what that meant, the ground beneath them rumbled. A deep, ancient sound echoed through the ruins like something massive shifting after centuries of sleep. The forgotten warrior's smile faded.
You have awakened it.
Awakened what?
But before he could get an answer, the ground split open beneath them, and everything fell into darkness. Darkness swallowed them whole. Jason hit the ground hard, dust and debris exploding around him as he rolled to a stop. His ears rang, his vision blurred, and for a few long seconds he couldn't feel anything. Then pain, his ribs ached. His lungs burned, but he was alive.
Everyone sound off.
Jason shouted, coughing.
Still breathing.
Alex's voice came from somewhere above.
I think my bones are in new places.
Mark groaned.
I'm here.
Naomi called out, her voice strained. Jason exhaled sharply, blinking through the dust as his helmet lights flicked on, casting the space around him in pale white light. They had landed in some kind of underground chamber, a massive, circular space, its walls lined with ancient carvings and glowing sigils that pulsed faintly with blue and gold light. It didn't feel dead, it felt awake. Seyna groaned nearby, already on her feet, blade in hand. Her normally composed demeanor was rattled. Jason staggered over to her.
Are you good?
She nodded, brushing dirt off her armor. She trailed off, eyes scanning the room. Jason followed her gaze and froze. In the center of the chamber, resting on a raised stone platform, was a massive sarcophagus. Not just any sarcophagus, this one radiated power. Symbols covered every inch of the stone, glowing softly. The lid was adorned with the emblem of the Orc warlords, a crest Jason recognized from the projection of the first champion. Jason's heart pounded.
This is it.
Seyna stepped forward slowly.
The tomb of the first champion.
Rorario, standing behind them, spoke in a hushed tone.
And yet it does not feel like a tomb.
Naomi looked around nervously.
Something's off. The air, it's charged. The energy here is fluctuating.
Jason approached the sarcophagus, reaching out. The stone was warm.
He's in there.
Or what's left of him.
Do we open it?
Before she could answer, the lid moved on its own. A low, mechanical rumble echoed through the chamber as the ancient stone shifted aside. Dust filled the air. Everyone backed up, weapons raised, and then a figure sat up. Massive. Armored in black stone and glowing blue lines, the first champion, eyes closed until they snapped open, glowing a piercing, unnatural gold. Jason took a step back.
What just happened?
The champion looked directly at him and spoke.
I was waiting for you.